So I've got my pan on high and I put a little olive oil in there, and I'm gonna let that heat while I chop my onion. I'm gonna take that and go right into the pan. Gonna let that cook until the onions start to caramelize, and make sure that I keep the pan well oiled. The pan will begin to brown at the bottom if I don't, and it will affect the color of my dish. So the onions are beginning to caramelize, and you can see how the pan is starting to try to brown at the bottom. You just have to keep it well oiled. And now that they're starting to brown, I'm gonna go ahead and put our garlic in. So again, I just have my jar of minced garlic here. I'm gonna go in as much as I like. And this is basically our base so that we can saute our broccoli. And it's smelling really good. Now begin to let the garlic cook and brown, and then I'll go in with my broccoli. You can use fresh or frozen. I'm actually gonna use a little frozen broccoli. And so I'm just gonna go right in the pan with some of the frozen broccoli. And I'm using enough to coat the entire pan with broccoli because this is a vegetarian dish. It's no meat, just vegetables. Douse it with a little olive oil, special blend of seasoning, very liberally, and just begin to stir that around. And as you can see, the pan starting to brown. I just need to keep it well oiled. And so I'm just gonna let the broccoli saute until it's cooked through. Oh, got one trying to get away. And to speed up this process, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it. I'll let that go for about 2 to 3 minutes, then I'll check on it, and then we'll put it aside to begin our next step. Now I've got a pot of water here. I'm just gonna turn that on high and let it boil. And this is gonna be where we cook our fettuccine pasta. I'm gonna put a little oil in the water so that when I put the pasta in, it doesn't stick. And to boil the water faster, I'm actually going to cover the pot. While I'm waiting on the water for the pasta to boil and for the broccoli to saute, I'm gonna go ahead and start another pan for the sauce. And in this pan, I've got some olive oil. I'm gonna turn on the heat to get it hot, and I'm gonna go in with more onion and garlic. Now, it's not required to go in with more onion and garlic for the sauce, but because I love flavor, you can never have too much onion and garlic. So I'm going to saute more onion for the sauce, go in with a little garlic, and once that browns and caramelizes really nicely, I'm going to go in with my heavy cream and my milk. And then I'll add a little cheese. It's been 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm just gonna check on my broccoli, see how we're doing. It smells really good. Just gonna stir it around. It smells really good. That onion and garlic and the seasonings. And the natural smell of the cooked broccoli. I would go ahead and season it, but a little bit more, but I seasoned it enough already, and I'm gonna season the sauce as well. So you can always test and see if your pan is hot by adding a little water. And there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my onions. Add a little bit more oil. Love extra virgin olive oil. I've cooked with it and only it. And I'm thinking about starting to add grapeseed oil to my kitchen. I've heard great things about grapeseed oil. Gonna let that caramelize, and then I'll add some garlic. The broccoli has been sauteing and it's nice and tender, and so I'm just gonna cut off the heat and let it sit. The onions are beginning to brown, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in some garlic. The thing that I love about this meal is it's really quick and simple. I've also got some French bread here. It's nice and firm on the outside and soft on the inside. And I'm gonna go ahead and chop because I'm going to use it to serve with the meal. So I'm gonna turn the heat down on the saucepan because the onions are brown enough, a little too brown, but that's just gonna add more flavor. If I go any further, it'll burn. I'm gonna go right into this pot with a half a stick of butter. Now, I'm just allowing this to melt. This sauce is going to be a lot browner than I was anticipating, just because I overcooked the garlic and the onions a little bit. But what I can assure you is this is not a burnt flavor. This is even more flavor than you would have if I hadn't cooked it this long. So the butter's melting down really nicely, and then I'm going to go in with my heavy cream. Add about half of the carton of heavy cream, milk. Give it a stir, and I'll just let it cook until it thickens. Once the sauce thickens, we're gonna pour it into the broccoli pan. I'm gonna put on my pasta, and then we're going to plate once the pasta is al dente. And people, when you're in a hurry, have no fear about having no time to make the sauce, because you know what I always keep on hand in my refrigerator? Bam. I'm not using it today because I have the time, but trust me, I have. It's gonna give the sauce a stir. Season it a little bit. Give it another stir. And let it continue to thicken. Now my pasta water is boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in my fettuccine noodles. Barilla fettuccine, break it right into the boiling water with the pasta. Let that cook for about 12 minutes until it's al dente. Now I'm gonna go into the saucepan with some Italian cheese, provolone, parmesan, romano, fontina, and asiago, and mozzarella. I'm gonna pour the sauce into the pan with the broccoli. Now I'm going to give it all a stir and get it on low heat so it can continue to thicken. See that cheese? Gooey gooiness. Yummy in my tummy. Now I've got a pan and I'm going to get it hot with olive oil. Going to brown a little garlic in it, and then I'm going to lightly cook the bread so it can soak up all that garlic flavor. We're gonna season it and plate. See, the garlic's already browning. Place my bread, turn the heat down because I don't want my bread to burn. I want it to soak up that flavor. Just place it right on top of the garlic while it's browning. Gonna drain my pasta and serve it up. So I got a bowl of pasta here. Scoop it on out and pour it right over the pasta. And there you have it, guys. Fettuccine Alfredo with broccoli and a side of toast. And I'm just gonna give it a taste. Get a little broccoli in there. Look at it, it's really hot. Really good.